النساء مثنى وثلاث ورباع فإن خفتم ألا تعدلوا فواحدة أو ما ملكت أيمانكم ذلك أدنى ألا تعولوا. And if you fear that you will not deal justly with the orphan girls, then marry those that please you of other women, 2 or 3 or 4. But if you fear that you will not be just, then marry only one or those your right hands possess, that is more suitable that you may not incline to injustice.
And if you fear that you will not be just to an orphan girl if you marry her, that's the meaning. And if you were to marry that orphan girl, you fear you will not be just to her. Then marry other women who are not orphans. Either marry 2 or marry 3 or marry 4. Now here, any scholars of tafseer and scholars generally speaking, they differed over whether this ayah contains istihbab ta'addud al-zawjat. Does the ayah contain the preference that it's preferred to have more than one wife? Some people said this is zahir of the ayah, yani marry 2 or marry 3 or marry 4. Lakin the context of the ayah is in the context of the orphan girls. In the idea that the ayah came with regard to not marrying an orphan girl if you're going to be unjust towards her, if you're not going to be fair towards her. So some of them said that this takes away the meaning of the fact that 2 is preferred over 1. And Allah Azza wa Jal knows best. This is a mas'ala khilafiyya. It's a mas'ala the scholars speak about it. Is it recommended to have more than one wife or not? Like, there's a strong view that the ayah doesn't say that. There is strength in saying that the context of the ayah takes away that meaning from it. The fact that the ayah came conditionally with regard to the marrying the orphan girls. Like, in any case, the permissibility of marrying up to 4 women is clearly found in the ayah. And you marry either 2 or 3 or 4. And if you fear that you will not be just, in your time, you cannot be just in your love. And that's for sure. And you cannot be just in your love, not with wives, not with anyone. And you cannot love people, measure your love equally between people. But you can measure your time and you can measure how much you spend upon them. That you can measure. If you fear you will not be just, then فَوَاحِدَةً, then content yourself with 1. أَوْ مَا مَلَكَتْ أَيْمَانُكُمْ, or the slaves that your right hands possess. Here, this is the female slaves that it is permissible to be intimate with. Not every female slave is permissible to be intimate with. And not every female slave. Rather, there are conditions for that. So as for those who it is permissible to be intimate with, then suffice yourself with that instead of taking a second wife or a third wife. And Islam limited the number. Before that, there was no limit. People used to marry 10, 20, 30, whatever they wanted. Islam limited that number except for the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam because of the attributes that he had in himself, in his physical self and his personality and his obedience to Allah Azza wa Jal and fear of Allah that allowed him, and because of the maslahah, the benefit in him marrying more than 4 sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
وآتوا النساء صدقاتهن نحلة فإن طبن لكم عن شيء منه نفسا فكلوه هنيئا مريئا. And give the women upon marriage their bridal gifts graciously. But if they give up willingly to you anything of it, then take it in satisfaction and ease.
And you give the mahar. And the mahar can be, the mahar doesn't have a lower amount according to the stronger view. The mahar can be anything which is a benefit. That is exchanged and given to the woman at the time of marriage. However, if the woman then gives back some of it upon her husband, she spends some of it upon the husband or the family, but she does so with طيب النفس, she does so without any objection in her heart, any freely and willingly, then there's nothing wrong with a person taking it. For example, if she bought something for the house, or if she gave something to her husband as a gift, and it came from the mahr, it's not forbidden for him to take some of it. Naam.